video podcast for the TMC 520 controller. This short video will give you a great overview of this new product from Telesis. You'll hear from several people that are involved directly with the 520, and at the end of this video you'll be given a short quiz to verify that you have participated. Later we'll have an additional podcast to answer any questions that you may have, and we'll provide you with an example video demonstration that you can use to guide you in your customer demonstration.
The TMC 520 has several valuable features. We have the durable touchscreen display, the external power supply to minimize downtime, build fault tolerance, the full software package. It's easy to modify for different languages all around the world, and this controller can run different types of heads with a simple selection on the controller, and it also has just a small footprint and minimal weight. But what really sets it apart from the competitors is that competitors may have one or two of these features, but they're not the full package. The Automator's AC500 is designed that you have to order standard features individually, like you just downloaded a free version of an app. And they also have a stylist that you have to keep track of, which might be difficult in industrial environments. The Prior's 4000 is actually about 4 times the size of the TMC 520. Technophore requires you to open up the head every time you need to service the controller. Meco's MC2000 controller is about the size of and looks like a 1950s radio. And 6 controllers either require you to open up the head every time this controller needs serviced, or it's like Meco's and just as outdated. So really the 520 is the full software package. It's the full controller package that you would get.
The 520 controller was developed for several reasons. One of the biggest reasons is that the need for a modern user interface. Present 470 is totally text-based. 520 has a graphics user interface that is very intuitive, or at least as intuitive as possible. Like I said, we went through several interviews, went through several iterations of alphas and betas to come up with it. There was a lot of work done on the hardware side, especially for motor drivers, solenoid drivers. Some of the features that were needed were robustness from a standpoint of a lot of times the problem doesn't necessarily exist in the controller. The problem may exist in the head, where a cable may be cut, damage to the head, and causing a short condition. The present systems of 470, of course, will have protection, but that protection is a fused base protection. And what that means is basically you have a short in the head, the fuse blows, and then the head has to be repaired. Unfortunately, in the real world, though, what happens is that customers are running production. They need to move quickly, so the first instinct is to grab a spare controller and put it in because the system's not working. Unfortunately, as soon as that happens, fuse blows, they're back in the same situation. 520 controller has the ability that should a short condition on the head or the solenoids occur, it will simply shut the drivers down, and it can be returned to normal or operation simply by changing the head and then turning the controller off and back on. This system does deviate from previous, where we have an internal power supply. In that case of, say, with the fuse blowing, and someone would have to get into the enclosure, that exposes them to high voltages that in certain certain instances, certain customers are not going to allow that, and nor should they for that matter. There are no dangerous voltages inside the controller, and it's all kept outside. There was an additional output that was added to the system that allows for better integration. Presently, language translation on the 470 controller, being the French, the English, German, and those. It's relatively difficult to get translations onto the 470 controller. This controller makes translation much easier. We actually have, I think, 5 present translations and can have many, many more translations. We can send them a file and instructions, and they can very quickly create those translations, and then we can get it on it. With the 470, it actually would take more or less custom software to do that. On this, it's simply a matter of going and selecting the translated file. So some other things that were requested were items such as USB scanners. That presently cannot occur on a 470, but we do have a USB scanner option for this. And it works quite well. Just simply plug it in and it works. Also, one of the major advances is in the display. Our controllers are in industrial environments. They take abuse, and so the display has to be able to take abuse as well. And on, say, a 470 controller, it wasn't giving the type of robustness that we really wanted in a display. So, this display, it's a very robust display. On a 470 controller, basically, when you are in need of various heads, you actually have to download software or purchase it already configured. So a 470 controller that is being used is strictly for the head that it is programmed for. Say for instance, a customer has, and we have these, where they may have a number of, say, 1,700 heads. They may have a number of 4,200 heads. They may have a number of 3,200 heads. They don't want to have to have spare inventory of 3 or 4 different controllers configured. For the 520, they simply go into the setup, switch the head to the head type, and then they have it. So in those situations, they only have to stock one controller that is not necessarily configured. So.
Hello everybody, today we are talking about the exciting new release of the TMC 520 controller. As we all know, new products are great, but some of the best things that they do is they give us the ability to reach out to existing customers, increasing our customer interaction, as well as finding out new information on projects, new projects that may be pertaining versus our competition. 2 areas I'd really like to focus on for this video. One would be existing Telesis customers, and another would be finding new Telesis customers. So the first question I would have is, why would a customer want to upgrade to the 520 versus some of our older controllers? Let's say the TMC 470, 600, 420. The big benefit and the most powerful feature of the system is ease of use. It provides a visual with an easy platform for programming, making setup very easy for our customer. This allows reduced downtime and allows changeover to be very easy. The second would be durability. The TMC 520 promotes a fanless based system. It has a scratch and impact resistant screen, making it perfect to go in any environment for a pin stamp application, which are usually very harsh. The third would be flexibility. The 520 comes with unlimited backup capability, again allowing for reduced downtime, any sort of changeover that may happen. It's also flexible because there's going to be multiple heads available for the 520, making it very easy for Telesis to be able to mark any of our customers' pin stamp applications. And as I said earlier, new products give us the opportunity to not only reach existing customers, but also try and gain new customers. So when we demo the 520 to, let's say, a new customer, the same features of ease of use, durability, flexibility, all will apply to a new customer as they would an existing. But a new customer also needs to understand and recognize the power of the total marking system from Telesis, meaning controller, pins, heads. Some things to focus on would be floating pin technology, the overall durability of Telesis heads, also the ability to be able to customize any solution for a customer to meet their total marking needs. And on one final side note, one thing we always have to remember is Telesis is the total marking solution. So we need to be cross-promoting both our laser and pin stamp lines to increase our chances of winning an order.
So, of course, one of the things that everyone wants to know is what systems are now available with the 520 control. The systems currently available are the 1700, 2100, 3200, the 4210, 4750, and the Benchmark 200, 320, and 460. And what about the other systems? Well, all the other systems are coming along really quickly, and we should have all systems released with the 520 by the end of this year, with the exception of just the servo scribes. So, with the 520 soon to be available with all of our systems, we're introducing a color change to black to make sure that it looks sharp with any system that you sell it with and that we'll put it with. From a TMP 1700 to a Benchmark 320 to an SC 2000. You've already seen in this video all the great features and benefits that the TMC 520 is loaded up with for customers and users. But we don't want to load up the price. So we've priced it at only a slight premium to the 470 and 470 systems. The price difference is far below what the perceived value is likely to be in most all the cases. An easy way to remember the difference in the price of the 520 versus a 470 or 470 system is just add $520. So for $520 more, the customer, the user, gets all these features and benefits that we've been showing you today. Final thought, it's $520 for the 520.